draft, it is only right that it is mock draft season over here at Go Time Dolphins. Full 7 rounds. Do we go best player available? Do we take for need? Charlie has a critical face, so it's best to dive straight into it. Charlie, tell everyone what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. And we're on a new platform, Kadeem. So in my upper right, it says uploading, and usually that doesn't happen until after the end of the when we're recording or whatever. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Are we going to get signed off here? So that's what the face was for, Kadeem.
No, I can explain very quickly a little peek behind the curtain. We moved from StreamYard to Riverside, and Riverside does its uploading on their end. So you'll notice that it's constantly uploading what we're saying. It will also say that the audio and video quality will be better on stream. So yeah, it might look a bit blurry at times for us, but to the viewers and listening viewers and listeners at home, it will be, as the UK people say, top notch quality.
Mock Draft Monday. Before we get into it, just a little tidbit, a couple tidbits. Justin Fields traded from the paper planes to the Chiefs. That's funny because I think the Dolphins are trying to win this year. And I mean, obviously, I don't think you're trying to lose, but I think they're really trying to do something this year, right? So I just told Bert not even a week ago, I'm like, bro, we might as well just get Justin Fields. If we're going to really try to do this, we might as well get Justin Fields, have him back up Malik Willis, right? And now Justin Fields is traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, oddly enough. They only have to pay $3 million for Justin Fields. Funny enough, I would still take Justin Fields over Malik Willis for $3 million. So it just happens to be that, yo, you want Malik Willis for 45 guaranteed $1 million or Justin Fields for 3? I'm just saying, bro. And here we are. And I might as well. I thought I'd throw that out there. You got something to say about Charlie Heck? I seen this in the group chat, Kadeem.
Um, yeah, 5 Yard Lee posted a screenshot which basically said that Charlie Heck was the worst graded offensive lineman, both at like tackle and of all offensive linemen. And you know, I can't imagine he was going to come in and genuinely compete for a starting job. But the one thing, when when it was looking like the Dolphins were going to move on from Liam Eichenberg last season, and at the very least he wasn't going to start games, Dolphin fans, finally Liam Eichenberg's gone, he's not going to play, all that kind of stuff. And me and 5 Yard Lee said, why are people assuming that it can't get worse? Like inside or as Miami Dolphins fans, we might not like Liam Eichenberg, but surely as an adult Miami Dolphins fan, you must realize now that things can get worse. And no offense to Jonas Avenaya, he was worse than Liam Eichenberg. So Liam Eichenberg leaves, people are rejoicing. I think it's genuinely sad because he might never play football again, which, we can all talk about how bad or good he was in Miami. The fact that his career might be over at what, 27, 28, isn't something I'm going to celebrate. But to the people who are like, Liam Eichenberg's gone, it can't get any worse. Once again, the Dolphins are showing you it physically and potentially might get worse at the defensive line position.
Something that needs to be said. That was according to PFF, the Jonas Savai Naya. And this is according to PFSN 365. Charlie Heck is graded the worst lineman in the league, 107 of 107. That's the rating, which I think is funny. And in one of the comments, if we need to start doing comment of the week again, Kadeem. Remember those days? Comment of the week. We gotta get back to comment of the week. And if we did, this would be the comment of the week. The comment said, somehow I feel like what the heck is going on is appropriate.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. Not saying it's an indictment on Charlie Heck, because I don't know enough to say if he's that bad or not, because I don't think Jonah Savai was as bad as everyone thought he was. And what PFF PFF said he was. So let's get into this mock and see if we could give this O line some help, give Heck some help, give Savai Naya some help, and see if we can get like just this team out the blocks.
So, as always, we are using the same as I go to bring up. We are using the same website we always use, NFL Mock Draft Simulator, NFL Mock Draft Database.com. It is fairly self-explanatory. It's just one of the ones that we enjoy using. For also just noticed, and I will see because I do watch the stream at the same time. I think the draft logo has disappeared top left hand corner. It is what it is. It's still pretty cool to look at when it was there. So let's have a look at. Can we have a look at our picks very quickly? Uh, if we kind of can't find it. Regardless, we know we are picking at pick 11 at the very least. And I'm also not going to mess around too much because don't want to be in a situation where we start and then I accidentally go back and we've got to start again. That's happened a few times. So, uh, before we delve into or before we click start, is there anything you would like to discuss around what's the best way to put it? Our strategy. What's our strategy? What is our strategy going into this mock draft? Best player
I'm
available or team lead?
I'm glad you asked me this, Kadeem. I'm so happy you asked me this because once upon a time, by the way, the Dolphins have signed Jonathan Mingo, Touche's. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Not Jonathan Mingo. What's dog name?
Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert, Touche's 24, Jalen Tolbert, who we have drafted in our mock draft once upon a time. So it's so the alley oop you just set me up for. I'm gonna slam it down. Once upon a time, Kadeem, we were on a national mock draft where there were 32 live streamers, and we were on the Bills platform. I
Cover
forget
one. The cover one
Cover
Bulls
One. There it
platform.
is. Shout out to the Cover One boys. We had a 32 real team mock draft, and we went two tight ends. Kadeem, can you remember the two tight ends we went in that mock draft?
No idea.
That's cool. It's all right. We went Luke Schoonmaker. He got drafted by the Cowboys that year. And we also went Britton Strange. Britton Strange is the starting tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, about to be put on the map this year. And I think this is the first time ever where I can't remember if he's a Touche 24 or not. Like, dang, did he make the list? I don't know if he made Touche 24, but I know we drafted him. Something else happened that year, Kadeem, when we mock drafted two tight ends in the same mock. Do you know what happened that year, Kadeem?
No, but very quickly, I don't think Brenton Strange did make two shades 24 because I think there was a photo of McDaniel speaking to him and there was just like
Right,
massive draft buzz. So
right, right,
that's why we're
right,
like, so don't think they're gonna draft Brenton Strange because it
right,
looked like McDaniel was infatuated with him.
right. I'm glad you said that. So something happened that year when we mock drafted two tight ends. The Green Bay Packers actually drafted two tight ends that same draft. They drafted Kraft and they drafted who's that other tight end in Green Bay right now? Ferguson. No, not Ferguson. Ferguson with the Dallas.
I will find out very quickly for
Who's
you.
the other tight end? I know someone's talking over the audio right now. Like, it's this guy. And I can't remember his name right now. Kraft,
Uh,
Tucker Kraft, and
well,
someone else.
well, yeah, we've got 2022.
Yeah, we
No,
could probably just go
2023. Tucker Craft and then Luke Musgrave in the second round.
Luke Musgrave. That's who it is. So the Green Bay Packers take the Go Time Dolphins strategy and go two tight ends in the same draft. The reason I said all of that, Kadeem, is not only the Green Bay Packers, some of Green Bay Packers front office, the Miami Dolphins front office this year, but we actually might have to do the same thing this year in a real draft. Is take two tight ends, and this is a pretty good draft to do that. So to come complete circle, CJ Daniels is somebody who might have made two shades 24 who can no longer make two shades 24 because Malik Willis outed that boy. And now everyone's talking about CJ Daniels. And I'm like, dang, well, there goes that. So here we go. Let's start the mock and see what we get this year.
Very, very quickly. We'll
One
start
of
them off
many
first.
mocks, by the way. Go ahead.
We have some comments. So shout out to Michael Desire. He says he's taken Sadiq. His, I guess, mock would have him taken Sadiq, then Drew Allah, Nick Singleton, Drew Shelton. Then he's going to go to the defense. And shout out to the great Finns fan 1164. I don't know if this is like patois or a spelling mistake, but shout out to the great Finns fan 1160.
Oh, he say, Sapase. Brethrens. That's a Creole. So he's Zoe. He Haitian. What up, Zoe?
Thank you very much. Apologies for not knowing that.
Hey, you,
But
forgive my English friend. Forgive my English friend. You feel me? But yeah, we here.
right, I imagine this is going to go pretty quickly, and I imagine Mendoza is going to go first overall. But let's have a look. Let's press start, and let's have Mendoza. Yep. So I'll have a very, very, very quick rundown without. Also, there'll be no trades. So, right,
Yeah,
so
this is a tradeless mock this week. No trades this week.
so let's mess around with some things very, very quickly.
Dolphins have 11, the 11th pick overall, 43rd pick overall, 75th pick, 87th pick, 90th pick, 111, 151, 227, and 238. So that's three threes for anyone who didn't catch it.
Yep. And also let us know in the comments. So as we mentioned, this is no trades, although there are four trade offers. The Cardinals would have us move back out of the first for a second, a fourth, and a second and third next round. The Pittsburgh Steelers would send two thirds and then there's a second round next year and three thirds to move out of the first round pick. The Saints are offering a first, third, and fifth next year, as well as a fourth rounder this year. And the only realistic one that we might have
Mm.
entertained is the Chiefs offering pick 29, pick 40, pick 109, and a fifth round pick next year.
If this is real life, I would take the Casey's offer of the 29th overall. So we would move back from 11, get the 29th overall, get an additional second round pick, which would be 40th overall, and then I think it said a fifth overall, and then another
Uh,
2027
so it
5.
was a first, second, a fourth, and a 2027 fifth.
Even better. First, second, fourth, and the 2027 fifth. So yeah, I would do that if we were doing trades. But we're not doing trades. And who's on the board right now for us at 11, Kadeem?
So just quickly, Mendoza did go first. The Jets at two took Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State. The
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals took Maguire, the tackle from Miami. We've also got Bailey has gone, Arvo Reese has gone, Spencer Fano, Ruben Bain, Jordan Tyson, McCoy the corner went to Casey at 9, and then Caleb Downs went to the Bengals at 10, which I know a lot of Dolphin fans will be fuming if that were to happen.
All
So
right.
on the board for the Dolphins right now, we have the highest ranked person is Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. Carno Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State. Mansour Delane, the corner from LSU. Makai Lemon, Monroe Freeling. I can't pronounce his name from Penn State, the offensive lineman, but is it Ione?
Yeah, we're gonna hit him back with that one. When
100%.
I'm when I'm when I'm on when I'm on the A game.
Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end, is on the board. Dylan Feenman. There's options, but very quickly, Caleb Downs, if he was on the board, would you have taken him? The safety from Ohio State.
We have the 11th pick, and we're not doing any trades. Would I have taken a safety with the 11th pick overall? For me, it would have been Caleb Downs or Kenyon Sadiq. Or, we might go Mansour Delane. But here's the thing. you know, I have a brother, Kadeem, that played college ball, right?
I do. Yeah.
And my brother, my brother's roommate in college was former Miami Dolphin and friend of the podcast, William Hayes. So everyone who like, oh, how does Charlie Touche know William Hayes? It's because he was my brother's roommate in college. Kadeem, William Hayes would tell you, and I think he said it on the podcast, my brother was one of the best corners he ever seen in his life. And I thought it was cool for him to say, because it doesn't mean as much because it's a friend. I also thought it though, Kadeem, and it doesn't mean as much because he's my brother. You feel me? And I think my brother is mature enough to tell you, like, yo, his attitude wasn't where it needed to be a professional, and probably hurt himself in sports. Looking back, right? All this time in my life, Kadeem, you know how much I watch football, how much I love looking at prospects and all this good stuff. And I'm like, dang, bro, my brother's supposed to be in the NFL. And I'll be real with you, the Giants said they were going to take my brother, right? And that's why me and the Giants, we just had a bad relationship for a long time. They end up having 3 6-round picks, the draft that my brother was coming out. And I was just holding on to hope, more so than my brother was. And then they actually went a small school safety. My brother was a DB. They went a small school safety, and my brother also went to a small school. And I felt like, dang, that was supposed to be my brother right there. The safety played for Ohio, not Ohio State, just Ohio. But all this time went by, Kadeem, and I'm like, yo, my brother was nice. And all the prospects I always look at, Kadeem, this is the first time in my life that I could compare a prospect to my brother. And I'm like, yo, this dude plays like my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so now I can give someone visualization of what I like, yo, this is what my brother was like in college. You know what I'm saying? This is who his comp was. Because there hasn't been comps that I could like, oh, this I see my brother in this person. Not only do I see my brother in this person, I'm like, yo, I would not mind if this person was a Dolphin. However, he tore ACL last year. Jamad McCoy, corner for Tennessee. He went in this mock at 9. Didn't even fall to us. So Jamad McCoy is going to be a first round pick. Thing is, it's just like, oh, he's coming off of ACL. I know Derek Stingley Jr. was hurt. He was coming off an injury. Now he's one of the best in the league. Are you willing to take a chance on Jamad McCoy? The
Chris
thing
Greerwood.
about Jamad, say what?
Chris Greerwood.
Cool. The thing about Jamad McCoy is when you're usually the best corner on your team, they go to the other side of the field. Like, yo, we're not even going to test Jamad McCoy. We're going to go to the other side. 7 times out of 10, that other corner is nowhere near as good as CB1. In this case, Colton Hood is the other corner on the other side of Jamad McCoy, and Colton Hood could easily be a first-round pick this year. Can we scroll down to see if Colton Hood is on the board? Which I gotta believe he is. He
Oh
didn't
yeah,
go
he
top 10. There we
35.
go,
He's
right there.
there. Yeah.
Colton Hood is on this platform projected the 35th overall best prospect in this draft. Colton Hood, according to Charlie Touche, is going to be a first or a second round pick. So to take Manzor Delaney 11th overall when I don't necessarily think he's the best corner in the draft, but the best corner in the draft is coming off injury. Now we have that, what do we do here? So here's what we do, Kadeem, in my opinion. You asked if I would take Caleb Downs. I would absolutely take Caleb Downs at 11 because I think we can get corner later. But Manzor Delaney is, without a doubt, I think his bust potential is low. So because we need corner, we need like 4 corners too, by the way. Because we need corner, he's a plug and play, set it, forget it. You don't have to worry about it. You have at least 1 corner on your football team. So Manzor Delaney would be my pick here if we were going real life scenario.
So shout out to Michael in the comments. He said, "When has the Finns ever had a guy like Sadiq? I will wait."
All right,
And
go ahead, Kadeem, go ahead.
I in the UK Dolphins group chat, shout out to Rob. He said first dream I've been able to catch for a while. when Sadiq had his, I think it was his combine, I was like, I will take Sadiq at 11. People were like, why can't you do that? And I was like, I think he's a good enough tight end to take at 11. Um, I think the offense the Dolphins have, yes, Greg Dulles has come back. Cool, fair enough. The Dolphins need help across the board. I don't think there's a position the Dolphins can take outside of maybe running back where I'd be like, hey, that's a bad mistake. And even if they took Jeremiah Love, I'll be like, hey, HI might be going. So I can understand why they would do that. So with Sadiq on the board as well, you partner him with Malik Willis, Devon Achan, and Jalen Waddle. Like you said, you can potentially get corner in the second round in Colton Hood, probably get safety in the second round as well. I genuinely think there are so many different options the Dolphins can take, and I think it's hard to get it wrong. Um, so yeah, Michael mentioned Sadiq. Um, I'm I'm okay with Sadiq or corner. Like I'm happy with either of those. Given the way the board has fallen, I'm okay with either pick at the moment.
So for those who are listening, Jeremiah Love is still on the board. According to Charlie Touche, Jeremiah Love will not be on the board at 11 when it comes to the Dolphins picking in real life. Here's the thing. Not only do I not think he's going to go top 10, well, Jeremiah Love is going top 10. If I was in a state, bet in moderation, by the way, just in case, the algorithm want to act funny. You know what I'm saying? Bet in moderation, nothing's guaranteed. But if I was in a betting state where I could bet on what player goes to what team, I'm taking Jeremiah Love fifth overall to the Giants. And I would put bread on that. It's plus 450 right now, by the way.
You have the
But
instant
anyway,
markets.
anyway, uh, I would like to go corner here, Kadeem.
So what corner would you like to take? We
Let's
got
go with Manzor. Now I want to be very clear. Kenyon Sadiq is a dude. He's going to be a dude. This time last year, Go Time Dolphins said, "Yo, let's take Tyler Warren." You know what I'm saying? Tyler Warren skips over the Dolphins and goes next to the Colts. I think it was the
yep,
pick right after the Dolphins.
he was.
And the funny enough, the tight end that I thought was better than Tyler Warren went before Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. I like Colston Loveland more than I like Tyler Warren, and so did the NFL accordingly. So apparently, but yeah, I like Kenyon Sadiq. I don't think we should go Kenyon Sadiq in the first round because there are options at tight end as well.
I agree. So Delaney, you are a Miami Dolphin, and then we're probably going to just miss a whole bunch of players
Mm-hmm.
until we pick. So I will try and call out any major ones. Jeremiah Love just went. Mikhail Lemon has gone. The safety Feedman has gone. Caleb Banks has gone. Freeling has gone. Ken Sadiq, I think, went to the 49ers. It looked like. We'll have a look back. Colton Hood has gone as well. Start the second round. Colton Hood is no longer on the board. We are on the board. We have some trades. We are going to reject them all. Not one single one had us move back in the second round. The best would have been the Saints moving back to pick 73 from pick 43. But Dolphins are on the board. A few names according to the draft board at NFL Mock Draft Database. We have Emmanuel McNeil Warren, the safety from Toledo. Ty Simpson, the quarterback from Alabama. Um, Emmanuel Pregnon, the offensive lineman from Oregon. Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker from Texas Tech. Eli Stowers, the tight end from Vanderbilt, is a name I would love to talk about. If not today, another day. Um, Malachi Fields, wide receiver from Notre Dame, and Josiah Trotter as well, the linebacker from Missouri. But I will scroll back up and allow you to look at some names. I will also make the screen smaller. So just for now, we've got more names on the screen.
You said you wanted to talk about the tight end?
Yes. You mentioned
40,
Titans.
43rd pick overall for anyone keeping track.
Yes. What are your thoughts on Eli Stowers? I had a conversation with a work colleague the other day. And Yeah, we were talking about Eli Towers could be a very good tight end to pick up in the second. Especially if you're a tight end needy team, and I guess the Dolphins also do need a tight end. So we didn't take Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan is the London mayor in the UK. That is so stupid of me. Kenyan Sadiq, apologies for that.
I know where you was going with it. I thought there was some type of setup there.
No, not at all. But
Uh,
yeah, Eli
so
Towers.
Stowers. Here's my thing about Stowers. Well, I don't know how much of Touche's 24 I want to expose, but Stowers is not on Touche's 24 for multiple reasons.
Also, sorry,
Um,
very quickly, what is Touche 24 for anyone who doesn't know?
so Touche's 24. I'm your boy Charlie Touche, and I picked 24 prospects that I don't believe will go in the first round, but should be a household name in their career. It could be a second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. I've hit on some sixth round picks, hit on multiple fifth round picks, fourth round, all over the board. And all it is 24 prospects. I'm like, yo, people are not talking about this person enough. All right. And turns out we found some diamonds in the rough. Probably the best, my favorite diamond is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't believe he fell that far. And then it gets to the point where it's like, yo, how do you know that these boys aren't going to go first round? Because then I have some people who I'm like, yo, he should be a first round pick, but I can't put him on Tuesday's 24. One, because he might be well known, or two, I think he's going to go first round, and it's going to be, oh, well, he was just a first round pick. Of course, he's going to be nice like that. So I try to find people who are under the radar, won't go first round, but will have first round type of careers. That's the hope, right? And then you get all the credit in the world. Uh, but if like for example, CJ Daniels isn't a first round pick, and I don't think his career is going to be a first round career. But because he's well known on social media now, I will not put him on Tuesday 24. I kind of want people that no one's talking about on Tuesday 24 as much as I can. People that aren't being talked about. Um, so here's my thing. I'm gonna let you pick this next pick, but I will talk about a couple players. Uh, we can go to the top of the first prospect at the top, which is Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Funny enough, what's dog that went to Seattle? Or did he go to the Ravens? No, he went to Seattle. The safety went to the Seattle last
Nick
year.
Emmanuel, I think his name is pronounced.
Yeah, Eamon Worry, bro. This is the same thing. This is Eamon Worry all over again. Turnover machine. You know what I'm saying? So Dolphins need all type of DB help. And what you don't want to do is draft 4 rookies and start them all, right? That's not ideal. You don't really do that. You know what I'm saying? So we went corner first. I would not be opposed to going in real life. I would not be opposed to going McNeil Warren here. I'm like, yo, and it would have been really good if we had McNeil Warren and Minka Fitzpatrick. That's why I wasn't a fan of letting go of Fitzpatrick. And this
I
is
agree.
also why I wasn't a fan of blowing up the defense, like letting go Bradley Chubb. I felt like, yo, your D line is where the bread is butter. And if you can just get some DBs, which you already have Fitzpatrick, yo, you could get some DB help and be all of a sudden like, yo, we're kind of we're straight right now. So you're not gonna be bottom of the barrel picking top 5, but your turnaround is gonna be way faster. But now since we're like, it's like we're just in no man's land with this front office, but they got to prove themselves right. So Keontae Scott is from the Miami Hurricanes, had the pick 6 against Ohio State in the Ohio State game. People know who Keontae Scott is, but people don't know Keontae Scott is he is who the dude we just lost. He went the
Kader
second round.
Kohu.
Cater Kohu, bro. He's Cater Kohu all over again, but better, by the way. So Keontae Scott is better than Cater Kohu, in my opinion. The thing about Cater Kohu and Keontae Scott, I wouldn't trust them boys on the island. I don't want to put them on the outside. I don't want to put them on the island. I think they'll get abused out there, right? Keontae Scott, he's smaller. I think he's a nickel corner, but at the same time, I'm like, you can play him at safety if you wanted to. It's like, yo, he's some type of nickel hybrid, just playmaker. Like you just need him on your team and let him be a joker. You know what I'm saying? He's great off the blitz, off the ball, off the line corner, but I wouldn't put him on the outside. So this is not Keontae Scott isn't somebody that you put on across from Manzo Delaney. And oh, we got our both of our corners. And there's another person in this draft that kind of similar in size. We're not going to talk about, but and then you have Emmanuel Pregnon. I think he's a guard. He's going to be a starting guard. He's going to start every single game that he's not hurt. He's a starting guard. He's going to be an all pro. My pick here would probably be that because I think we still need O-line help. And I think if you just get one more O-lineman, you can move some pieces around and then all of a sudden your offensive line is like, oh, we kind of nice on offensive line. So if you get two O-linemen, you get a guard and a tackle, I think you're top 10 in offensive line, just like that, in my opinion. So you won't hear no, oh, well, Malik Willis didn't have a line. Nah, bro, Malik Willis might have a pretty good line. And that means the quarterback coming in has a really good line because we'll be 2 seasons removed. But where do you want to go here, Kadeem? Did I hear you say you were about to go Ty Simpson? Is that what you just said?
You did not hear me say I was going to go Ty Simpson.
I thought that's what I heard.
Not at all. I'm torn between McNeil-Warren and Pregnons for a number of reasons. Again, I wouldn't have traded Minkert for a seventh to the paper planes. Um, the Dolphins are very slim safety now because of it. I think like Dante Trader Jr. might be like a starting safety right now for the Dolphins. They took him last year, so he's only in his second year in the NFL. So do you pair um a second year rookie, for lack of a better phrase, with a first year rookie? The flip side is, do you go offensive line? Do you try and get something out of Jonah and the rookie with Austin Jackson at right tackle if he can stay healthy, Aaron Brewer at center, and Patrick Paul at left tackle? Also, the Dolphins picked up, is it Sal May from the Chargers? Apologies if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. So is yes, offensive line is a need right now, but is it a huge, huge, huge need? My gut says go safety. Again, it's a young defense. However, I think right now the Dolphins can't get away from being a young defense unless they bring back Jack Jones, Russell Douglas, who did spend time in Green Bay. Yeah, unless you are gonna after the draft pick up some guys in camp and start them, which I wouldn't quite like. Um, my inclination is to go with McNeil Warren here, and yeah, start to bolster this secondary because it is threadbare right now.
So is that the pick?
I would say yeah, that is the pick.
So Go Time Dolphins select Emmanuel McNeil Warren with the 33rd pick overall. Let's get to some comments, Kadeem, before we get into the third round.
The great Finns fan asked, the Giants have Cam Scatterbo. Why do you have Jeremiah Love going there?
Didn't Scatterbull just like tear something like an ACL or Achilles or something like that? It was a major injury, wasn't
Broke
it?
his ankle.
Broken ankle. And they have Tyrone Tracy too. Tyrone Tracy and Scatterbull aren't elite running backs. Scatterbull is cool before the injury. You're picking top 5. You don't really want to use a top 5 pick on a running back. I do understand that. But there's this thing about football that I don't love, and it's politics. I hate it. And there's favoritism, and there's we got to sell tickets, and there's we got to sell jerseys. And I believe when they let go of Saquon Barkley, the owner did not want that to happen. And the general manager kind of went against the owner's wishes, and he gave him the leeway to do it, but he went against the owner's wishes and traded Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley then had the best season in the league at running back and won a Super Bowl. It makes you look terrible as a GM, and the owner said he's the most popular player we have. I would not want to let him go. He's a one helmet guy, and they let him go anyway. So to me, I think the GM wants to redeem that position. Like, yo, if we get Jeremiah Love, he could be our one helmet running back. And I picked him. And since Harbaugh is there, he's not the Derek Henry type of running back, but he's a bell cow running back. He's the all 4 downs, all 3 downs, giving the ball, throwing the ball. He's him. So I think the Giants are going to do a political move and take Jeremiah Love, in my opinion. Like I said, I would bet on that.
That is cool. The Dolphins are back on the clock.
Compound fracture says iMac. It was a compound fracture. I don't love that.
Yeah, it was horrible. And the trade we are going to take, the best trade, funnily enough, comes from Green Bay, and it will be pick 75 that the Dolphins have to move back to pick 84 in the third round, pick 160 in the fifth round, and a 2027 sixth round pick. So basically moving back 9 spots to pick up an extra fifth this year and a sixth next year. But yeah, there are no trades. Um, Looking at the big board, we have Dunker, the tackle from Iowa, AJ Housey, the safety from LSU, Malachi Fields is on the board still, Keontae Scott is on the board still, a few offensive linemen and D linemen. Um, Garrett Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback from LSU, is a somewhat interesting name if the Dolphins are going to take a quarterback every single year and you are a fan of Garrett Nussmeier, as is Drew Allah, the quarterback from Penn State as well.
What we got at tight end right now? You just go to press the TE and see what happens there. All right. All right. I don't need to see it no more. Go back to all. So I do believe the Dolphins should take a quarterback every single draft. I don't believe Nussmeier is a starting quarterback in the NFL. So Nussmeier would not be the quarterback I take in this draft because I think it'd be a waste of a pick since we're paying Malik Willis $45 million guaranteed. So this would not be I would not spend a third round pick on a quarterback who I don't believe has the tools to become a starting quarterback. Can we scroll down some?
Of course, we can.
Dolphins are on the clock. Keontae Scott still on the board, but we went 2 young DBs already. Did we not, Kadeem?
We did.
So we went 2 young DBs. Now I'll be real. I know I'm a bit aggressive when it comes to being a GM and this is not realistic and no one would ever do that. Not saying people won't ever do it because it's not realistic. I just feel like people are slow to get into it because now people are trading quarterbacks. That never was a thing 15 years ago. Quarterbacks never got traded. So people are like really just now catching up. But I think it's still a bit aggressive to go 3 DBs. 1, 2, 3. I couldn't do it, bro. I promise you I couldn't do it. That's just too young. I need some gray hair in that quarterback room. And I just have to pivot. Maybe if we went another position with one of the first 2 picks, I would have absolutely no problem going 2 out of the 3 being DBs. So we're gonna pivot from DB, although Keontae Scott is on the board. Let's scroll back up to the top, Kadeem. All right. Malachi Fields is a receiver, big body. Don't love him for us right now. We got Jalen Tolbert on a 1-year deal. He's got size. I think he's going to be an X receiver across from Jalen Waddle, unfortunately. But that's not you're not winning games like that. But I don't think Malachi Fields is the answer either. So I want to pick in the third round. You have 3 third-round picks. I want a third-round pick where it's like I know this guy isn't gonna bust, right? Because your first round pick, you're supposed to pick a starter. Your second round pick, you're supposed to pick a starter. Your third round pick, he should be a starter, but he's a developmental player that will be a starter. Everything else after that is you're throwing darts basically. So you still want to hit on this third round pick. And right now, I don't think Malachi Fields is a hit. So I'm gonna try to go with the safest route in the third round. Let's scroll down some more. Uh Safest route for me. Damn, it's funny because Kamari Ramsey's up there too. He's a safety. There's somebody else that some people that I won't mention. It's the first mock draft Monday of the season. I'm not gonna show y'all all my cards, but there's some people in here that I like that I'm just not gonna mention right now. Shout out to Mike Washington, running back. I think he had the best 40 as a running back. Let's keep going down. Look at say 77. Kadeem, can you pronounce this person's last name?
Davison Igbinosun.
What's
Igbinosun, that's what I go for.
what's this funny because we had an Igbenogany
Yeah.
before. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you get scarred with something like that. Let's keep scrolling down. Uh Keep scrolling down. So you got Jack Slaughter. All right, Jake Slaughter starts. Let's start right here. You have Jake Slaughter. Now, the Remington Award winner. If you don't know nothing about football and you just listen to Go Time Dolphins for the Miami Dolphins, because some people aren't football fans, they're Dolphin fans. Like me, I'm not an NBA fan. I'm a Miami Heat fan. So if you don't really mess with football like that, but you listen to Go Time Dolphins for your podcast fix, we appreciate you. But you also know Go Time Dolphins rock with every Remington Award winner there is. And the Remington Award winner is the best, or I think they consider it the most outstanding center in college football. So it doesn't mean he's the best on the field. He's the best on and off the field combined. And that is Logan Jones, was the
It's funny.
Remington Award winner. Go ahead, Kadeem.
It's funny you said that because I was hoping you didn't mention him, and if he was on the board at our next pick, that's the pick. I don't care what this pick was going to be. I was going to be like Logan Jones, Rington Award winner, taking him every single draft as long as he's on the board. I think he's a can't miss prospect. And yes, you have Aaron Brewer. I do not care if I have to sit him for 2 or 3 years. I am doing that. Like Logan Jones is going to be my have to draft every single mock draft we do.
Bro, I'm glad you said this because this is gonna make it very entertaining now. Because I do believe the Dolphins. Remember last year when I said the Dolphins take like 4 O linemen and we took 4 D linemen? You remember that? Like
Yeah.
that was crazy. So I think the Dolphins should take 2 O linemen, and I'm not talking about we took the 5th round and 6th round O linemen. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you should take a starting O lineman in this draft. And then if you want to use an O lineman with one of your 3rd round picks, I'm cool with that too because that 3rd round pick could start. So I think the Dolphins need to spend 2 of their first 5 picks, since we have 5 picks in the top 3 rounds. We should take 2 O linemen, in my opinion. And with Kadeem setting us up like that, I have to tell you something. I think Jake Slaughter is a better O lineman at center, actually, better than Logan Jones. So it's funny that Logan Jones is the Remington Award winner, most outstanding center. And yes, he is great on the football field and off the football field. But I think Jake Slaughter can be easily moved at guard if you have Aaron Brewer. And it's like, Jake Slaughter might be more comfortable at guard than Logan Jones would be comfortable at guard. So I don't think we're getting rid of Aaron Brewer. And because of that, the fit for me is Jake Slaughter. We're going to take Jake Slaughter here. But if Kadeem Simmons says, we're taking Logan Jones next, Charlie Touche will co-sign that.
So for those, we obviously mentioned the. Actually, I'll make the pick. Jake Slaughter from Florida, and I'll also read out the names of the most recent, of some of the most recent Rington Award winners. So Jake Slaughter, you are a Miami Dolphins, but you have in 2016, no, 2015, Ryan Kelly. We have some trades, ignore them. 2015, Ryan Kelly. 2016, Pat Elfline. 2017, Billy Price. 2018, Garrett Bradbury. 2019, Tyler Biadasz. 2020, Landon Dickerson. 2021, Tyler Linderbaum, who just got paid an absolute boatload by the Raiders. Um, 2022, Olusegun Oluwatimi from Michigan. 2023, Jackson Powers Johnson. 2024, Seth McLaughlin, who picked up an injury before the draft, got taken as an undrafted free agent by the Bengals. Do you know where he is now, Charlie?
Seth McLaughlin,
Yep,
he got cut by the Bengals.
he got cut by the Bengals.
Where'd he go?
Um, he got signed by the Detroit Lions at the start of January.
Yo, listen, Kadeem. Bro, hey, look, listen. When Go Time Dolphins stands on the table for our O lineman, we have a pretty good hit rate, bro. We
Andrew
have a pretty
Voorhees.
good hit rate. Yeah, Andrew Voorhees. Yeah, we have a pretty good hit rate when Go Time Dolphins stands on the table for an O lineman. Like that's crazy.
So yeah, and then yeah, this year Logan Jones. But we have taken Jake Slaughter, um, and I don't need to see anyone else because I see Logan Jones there at 91. This is pick uh 87, and we're there again at pick 90. Um, but for me, it's like you know, do you go Kamari Ramsey? Do you go Mike Washington Jr.? Garrett Nussmeier still on the board, but you're not really a fan of him. But Logan Jones is on the board. I just think the Dolphins have signed quite a few offensive linemen in free agency so far. I think you can't get enough offensive linemen, and it's competition. Iron sharpens iron. Jonas Avenaya does not have a guaranteed starting place on this offensive line right now. And hey, if he gets bumped down, so be it. Step up or shut up. So yeah, to me, Logan Jones is an easy pick for me right now.
Here's why I co-signed this pick. You could go ahead and take him, Kadeem. Here's why I co-signed this pick. I believe the Dolphins should take two O linemen that can potentially be starters. Logan Jones is a starting center. I have no doubt about that. The thing about the Logan Jones pick is we have the best center, arguably top 5 center in the league, in Aaron Brewer, right? So I remember when Aaron Brewer got picked up by the Dolphins, it was like, all right, he's going to be decent. He's going to be cool. And then we got your boy, who was Daniels, the one that I didn't like.
James Daniels.
James Daniels. I didn't like it. And obviously the hope is, oh, we hit on Aaron Brewer and he's one of the best centers in the league. Oh, we hit on James Daniels and he's one of the best guards in the league. And then you have, you know what I'm saying, the Patrick Pauls of the world. So the thing is, yeah, you would have had a nice little line if you hit on both of them, but you only hit on one. I didn't love the James Daniels. I actually didn't like it at all. So the reason why I like this is because Jake Slaughter is a starter. And who you just picked up, Logan, is also a starter. Logan is a starting center, and Jake Slaughter is a start. He can start at center, but he's a starting guard as well. So now when you take both of them, you're saying, hey, if Aaron Brewer costs us too much money, we're ready to pivot. Not only if Aaron Brewer costs us too much money, we're ready to pivot, but if someone gets hurt in the interior O-line, you have two rookies ready to go right now. I'm ready to go right now. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 stacks. You feel me? So I like it. Kadeem, we went back to back. Someone wanted the center, and we got 3 of them now. How about that? Straight up.
Like good teams just pick up good players and go, hey, we'll figure it out from there. We are back on the board back on the clock, I should say, sorry, at pick 90. Where do you think we should go? Bearing in mind we've taken 2 corners and essentially 2 centers. No, sorry, 2 DBs and 2 offensive linemen with our first 4 picks of the 2026
2
NFL
centers,
draft.
2, and I'm gonna be clear, 2 interior offensive linemen. Now, real life, Kadeem. Again, we want to be hammer this home. 3rd round picks should be starters. They should be. But if they're developmental players that become starters, that's great. I think Kamari Ramsey is a starter. We already went 2 young DBs, but it's our 5th pick. And traditionally, your 5th pick of the draft is your 5th round pick. And I understand that might not be the case here, but I think it's super safe to take Kamari Ramsey here now. I'm not saying we will, but I think it's super safe to do it here because we have two starters at DBs. I think they're surefire starters, and I think we're gonna out of the two interior O linemen we just had, I think one of them will start. I would, yeah. I don't got to bet no more. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're gonna start with one of our interior O linemen. So the fact that I think Kamari Ramsey is a starting center, I'm sorry, a starting safety. I think we take Kamari Ramsey here. Mike Washington is right there on the board still. He's supposed to be a pretty good running back. I don't think we go running back. I think we're going to extend Achan. If we extend Achan, we still have running backs on the roster, Ali Gordon and Wright. Like I think we're fine at running back. So I'm going Kamari Ramsey here. I was going to explore the board a little bit more, but I don't think we have to. I'm taking Kamari Ramsey here. Didn't think we'll have three young DBs, but I think we did pretty solid. And this should be a pretty good grade here when we look at this Kamari Ramsey pick.
Kamari Ramsey is the pick. Listen, it's as I mentioned earlier, the Dolphins have a whole bunch of holes across the board. If we had gone, I don't know, two edge rushers and a linebacker, the Dolphins, you could argue, need two edge rushers and a linebacker. You don't know where you're going to get at Chuck Robinson. Jalen Phillips isn't on the team no more. Friend of the podcast, Bradley Chubb, isn't on the team no more. So, yeah, if the Dolphins had gone two wide receivers, shout out to uh, Innis. Charlie, remember Innis, the OG?
No,
Came on our podcast a couple of years ago.
I do. I do.
Yeah, yeah. He tweeted a couple of weeks ago because people talking about the Dolphins taking two, like doing full mock drafts and taking like two wide receivers quite early, and they were like, "That's a clown take." And I was on the Go Time Dolphins Twitter account, and I was like, "It's not a clown take because, also it's a clown, but like it's not a clown move because the Dolphins heading into the season, this was before free agency, had essentially one wide receiver in Jalen Waddle who was a known commodity, and Malik Washington, who had a good rookie season, but you don't know what you're going to get from the second year. Hopefully, it's improvement, but you just don't know. Behind those two, you have nobody, no one whatsoever. So taking two wide receivers so that your wide receiver room has four options, hopefully three at least, and hey, you might even get rid of Jalen Waddle. I don't think it's a clown move to take two wide receivers. Essentially, again, whether you take two tight ends, two wide receivers, two DBs, two offensive linemen, two D linemen, I don't think the Dolphins can go wrong necessarily with those first five picks. Even after the free agent signings, it's a long term build. You need guys for next year, the year after. So people might look back at this and go, why have they taken two interior offensive linemen and three DBs? Hey, the Dolphins need two
All of them.
offensive line,
All of them. They need all of them.
hundred
Straight up.
percent.
And,
Like,
and again, we started this podcast saying Green Bay took two tight ends in the same draft. The same year, Go Time Dolphins took two tight ends in the same mock draft. So it's not like we just out here flabbergasting. Like, nah, bro, this is legit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. I'm cool with where we are, Kadeem. I'm being honest with you. Who you got for this coming up? This last third round pick.
so nope, it's pick 111 round four.
Is it?
Yeah, we've
You sure?
taken. Yeah, we've taken.
That's not a compensatory pick.
I don't think the Dolphin. Uh, this is saying pick four, round four, pick 11, and according to other sites, the Dolphins have pick 11. So yeah, pick 11, pick 43, pick 75, pick 87, and pick 19, and yeah, pick 111.
So
So
we don't have
three.
three. We don't have three threes.
Yeah, we do pick 75, 87, and 90.
Who do we pick at 90?
Uh, the center, Logan Jones.
And who do we pick with the first one of the third round picks?
We took.
Oh, I took Kamari Ramsey just now. That's
y-
why. All right, I got it.
Yes,
I got it. I got it. I got it. I
yeah.
got it. I miss Kamari Ramsey. All right, cool, 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 cool. We're solid. And matter of fact, now that kind of messes up my next pick. But let's see what we got. See who's on the board because we don't have a
Gen,
fifth round pick. Isn't that right?
We don't have a sixth round pick. We
We have
have
a fifth, but we don't have a sixth.
yeah.
All right,
So we
let's
pick
do
at
it.
151 and then nothing until 227.
Got it.
Um, looking through, and if audio listeners can't see anything, so we have a few names: Genesis Smith, safety from Arizona; Darrell Jackson Jr., D lineman from Florida State; Zakee Wheatley, the safety from Penn State; Julian Neal, cornerback from Arkansas; Malik Muhammad, cornerback from Texas; Dion Burks, wide receiver from Oklahoma; Ted Hurst, Georgia State wide receiver; Michael Trigg, tight end from Baylor, and he probably would be my pick. Uh, but Drew Aller is also on the board at the QB from Penn State, and I don't hate him. So if I was picking, I would go Michael Trigg, the tight end from Baylor, big body guy. I think I tweeted about him, but I can't be too sure. So I'm going to take a very quick look to see if I did a couple of weeks ago. But what would you do with this pick, Charlie?
I was actually gonna go tight end here, but it wasn't gonna be Michael Trigg.
I will, as I quickly look for that tweet, I will get the tight ends on board. So you got Michael Trigg, Oscar Delp, Joe Royer, Jack Indries, Nate Borkircher, and Marlon Klein
You
are the
got, you
first.
got, you got to scroll down some more. There you go. Right there, right there, right there. You good. But go ahead. So while Kadeem looks up what he's looking up, I was actually gonna go tight end here. Turns out Kadeem was going tight end here. I was either gonna go Jack Indries or Dallin Bentley. Now, both of them are very similar to each other, but there's something. Scroll up the Jack real quick, Kadeem. When I was looking at someone's film, that's all I'm gonna say. I was looking at somebody's film, right? And Jack injuries kept popping up on this person's film. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? You feel me? And I feel like scouts do that all the time too. Like, wait a minute, I'll scout somebody else, but this guy popped out, and that's what happened at tight end for me here. So it would be Jack. Um, I think we need multiple tight ends too. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I wanted to go tight end in the second round for somebody. That somebody wasn't available. I wanted to go third round. And he just not there. And in real life, I think he might go late second in real life. The person I'm telling you about, not going to spoil it. We got a couple mock draft Mondays coming up. I'm gonna see if I could get him. Spoiler alert: he's on two shades 24. So if we miss out on Kenyon Sadiq, I am okay with it if we can find this gem of a tight end who I think is going to be like the next best thing. Like, yo, every year for the past 3 seasons, we've had the tight ends of tight ends. We had Tyler Warren come out before. It used to be like this. Oh, it takes time for tight ends to develop. They usually take a couple years to develop. Tyler Warren came out. He's a dude. Before that, it was
Brock Bowers,
Brock Bowers. He's a dude. And before that, the one to start this run, do you remember who it was?
Carpets,
Laporta.
Sam
Wait,
Potter.
Cal
Apologies.
Pitts just Cal Pitts, he's two sometime. So Laporta. So we got a three-headed monster in 3 consecutive seasons at tight end. Like, oh, these boys is really showing up now. And there's multiple tight ends in this draft. Multiple in this draft that I feel like, yo, these boys are gonna come out and be starters. Like, I trust these boys with my tight end life. So the way we don't have tight end right now, I thought for sure this front office was gonna have somebody like a Dawson Knox,
Hmm.
Dalton Kincaid, some other tight end, like even Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson. I thought they were gonna cut him in Minnesota. I thought for sure this front office would go establish veteran tight end and then draft another tight end, whether it was a first round tight end or not. I thought for sure this front office was gonna go two tight ends. And it's funny because if they go two tight ends in the draft, no one should be surprised.
Agreed. I found a tweet, so I'll bring it up very, very quickly. This I tweeted this on the 28th of February, so you can see it on my screen. I tweeted, "Watching Zoe Robertson is fun. You know what's more fun? Watching Michael Trigg." So yeah, I was watching So Robinson, everyone was like, oh, you know, I would take him, blah, blah, blah. And as you mentioned, I'm just like, yo, it's Michael Trigg, it's Michael Trigg, it's Michael Trigg. So he's not on what is it, Simmons six? Like he's not making Simmons six. I think he's too well known for Simmons six. But um yeah, I do believe that if I were to take a tight end later on, I would look at Michael Trigg. Don't have to be here. Happy to go with um who did you say?
Jack Injuries.
You happy to go Jack Hendries, but
I also go what's that name? Dallin Bentley too. I either one of them boys. I'm cool with one of them. I would prefer to go Jack over Dallin, but both of them I'm cool with either one. Because I
what's
think we
interesting?
could run. I think we could run 12 personnel. Well, we can't run 12 personnel with one tight end, but I think we can run if we. It's just right there for us, bro. You got Malik. Whoever quarterback you had coming in, you were only gonna have one receiver, and then you do got Malik Washington. He's a traditional slot corner, high volume slot corner, which is cool. But you only got one X receiver, and I thought we were gonna go 12 personnel because we didn't have a quarterback. Even if you bring in Malik Willis, it's easier for Malik Willis to go 12 personnel, get jiggy with the tight ends. If you can't get jiggy with the tight ends, get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Start running. I thought this was a no-brainer. And it's not over. We can still go 12 personnel all the time if we get two tight ends. But the fact that we haven't addressed tight end yet, I thought we would, Kadeem. But yeah, so I don't mind going tight end here.
What's interesting is that this website has Dallin Bentley as a team fit need for the Dolphins, but we are going to go Jack Hendries, a team fit need for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We are not on the board again until pick 151 in the fifth round. Um, Michael Trigg just went. Yeah, he was. He wasn't going to be there when we next on the board, but yeah, I wouldn't have minded double dipping to go and get Michael Trigg as well. We are a few picks away. Uh, we are on the board. Don't need a trade. Charlie, would you take Carson Beck, quarterback from Miami?
No, I would not, Kadeem. Not only
Right.
would I not take Carson Beck, I remember 2 seasons ago you asked me how you think about how you feel about Carson Beck. I said who? Who? Bro, no, he's not it. You know what I'm saying? And then Georgia let him go. I was happy. I want to be very clear. I appreciate Carson Beck. And even at the beginning of the season last year, when he came to the Miami Hurricanes, I'm like, listen, Carson Beck is not going to lose the game. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be like he is a game manager, bro. Like, game manager is a knock. Yeah, cool, but this is rightfully titled for Carson Beck. Not only is he a good game manager, as long as he don't throw a pick, you're gonna win the game. I'm dead serious about it. Like, dude is nice like that. He protects the ball. The man was, I think his college football record was like 40-6, something like that. 40 wins, 6 losses. It's something crazy, right? So he protects the ball, and when he doesn't protect the ball, you lose the game. So I gotta throw this in there. Gotta throw this in there. With all the betting scandals going around the world, I don't know about that last pick he threw, bro.
Charlie,
Like, hey, hey, hey,
Charlie,
hey, hey,
Char-
hey,
no,
hey,
no, 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 no.
hey, bro.
Charlie, we don't need to get the money ties today. We don't.
I didn't say nothing. We good right now. I'm just saying.
Charlie, we've
I'm
said
just
less
saying.
and lost out on advertising. Like I'm just saying, be very careful what the next words out your mouth are.
All right. Well, don't
Because
ask me about Carson Beck no more if you don't want to get demonetized, because I got some stuff to say about dog.
save for
And
Patreon.
he's a game manager. I just don't think he's an NFL quarterback. I think the playoffs, the college football playoffs, got him into the draft. Like, I don't think he would. I think he was going to go undrafted, but he had the college football playoffs, and I think that got him to like a 5th-round pick. And if he would have won that last game, I think it got him to a 7th-round pick. And if he won that last game, he would have been like a 5th-round pick. My thing is, that last interception, boy, I don't know, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy. I think the thing was in. You know You know what I'm saying? But let's go. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's see who else is on the board. We're not going Carson Beck. Taylor Green.
I
So
was
Taylor Green is a name. And I know everybody is interested in Taylor Green because as of right now, we have a Taylor Green at quarterback. He's mobile. He can get jiggy. He can get up out the pocket and he runs. Problem with Taylor Green for Charlie Touche's taste, the man cannot throw the ball, bro. Like, and I know there's a stigma around quote unquote more mobile quarterbacks or dual threat quarterbacks
or black quarterbacks.
or black quarterbacks. Cool, and I don't think that's too much of a thing anymore, right? Like the black quarterback thing. It used to be a huge thing in my opinion. I don't think
But
it's that much of a thing, but
so so very quickly, like it's not that much of a thing, but people are talking about Taylor Green this draft, especially after combine, and going, could you move him to like wide receiver? And it's like, why? The guy's a quarterback. Like,
Kadeem,
why? Yes, he's athletic, but why are we moving him to?
here's my thing, Kadeem. I feel like, and I don't want to have the black quarterback conversation, right? But I do want to say this because all right, we have to have it now since we touched on it. I'm gonna just dabble in it a little bit. There was a knock on this black quarterback thing, meaning they weren't smart enough to be quarterback, but they were giftedly athletic enough to run the ball from the quarterback position. Yet they're still not smart enough to be quarterback. That used to be a thing. If you're a young kid watching and you never heard of that, it's a real thing. That used to be a thing. My problem is, Kadeem, he's a trash thrower, bro. Like, I'm like, oh, like, dang. So just because the shoe fits right now where you not a good passer, but you can run good, like, it has to be a race thing. So I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying he's not smart enough. I don't know, dog, to be smart enough. I didn't watch this film to know that, yo, he's not checking out right. He's not going to the right targets. He's predetermining his passes. I don't know him for that, but I know he can't throw the ball. I know that much. So to me, I'm not saying he's not a quarterback. I'm just saying he's not a good passer. And that's all I got for Taylor Green. Taylor Green. I'm sorry. Taylor. That's all I got for Taylor Green. I don't want him on the Miami Dolphins. And if this take comes back 4 years from now, I'll be like, dang, I was wrong about him and Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson was really trash that first year. Like I'm just saying, he was really trash that first year. I didn't say Dog was a running back though.
Can you continue for like
Yeah. Can you
20
scroll
more
down?
seconds?
Can you scroll down? Yeah, just keep going. Get to like the 50s, 60s, please. All right. We'll wait. We'll wait right here for Kadeem to come back. So as of right now, my next pick, what round is this? 5th round?
Yeah.
It's Pat Coogan. Pat Coogan is a guard for the Indiana Hoosiers, national championship winner. Indiana Hoosiers. Pat Coogan was a guard. I think he actually got MVP in one of them championships, whether it was a playoff game or, well, I think he got MVP in a Rose Bowl or MVP in a national championship. I can't remember, but Pat Coogan is a guard. Now, here's the thing about this. Oh, why y'all drafted 3 guards, right? First round pick, you're supposed to get a starter. Second round pick, you're supposed to get a starter. Third round picks should be starters. If not, they should develop into starters. Everything else is a dart throw. So you want high ceiling players. Oddly enough, we already drafted 2 interior O linemen who we believe can be starters. The thing is, Pat Coogan can also be a starter. So this is a really good value pick. So we didn't know Pat Coogan was going to be here, and we didn't know we were going to address interior O line before this. So since we already addressed it, this is a really good pick. Unless someone else is on the board, but Kadeem's busy. So I can't really scroll down to find out if that person is there. But as of right now, Pat Coogan is my pick. What you got, Kadeem? You all right over there?
Yeah, just trying to get a banner, and I think I've probably missed the timing of it. But that is life, I guess.
Bro, you solid, bro. Like it's all right. We got a whole nother round. We got like 2, 3 more picks, don't we?
I think we've got one more pick after this. pick in the seventh
Scroll
round.
down to the 60s. Let's see if someone's here. Oh, keep going, keep going.
CJ Daniels.
Yeah, I see that. Hold on, hold on. So who I was looking for isn't there, but we're gonna go CJ Daniels. We already addressed interior O line. We have two interior O linemen who we believe could be starters. One starting at center for sure, just not over Aaron Brewer. So we addressed O line. I wanted two O linemen. We got two O linemen. Pat Coogan would have been the pick if the other a couple other people weren't on this board. But since CJ Daniels is on this board and he's a need, wide receiver is a need. I want to be very clear. If he was not talked about the way he was talked about in this past week and a half, he might have made Tuesday's 24. So CJ Daniel is nice. He made my screensaver for like a month with that pick, with that catch against Notre Dame at the beginning of the season. I couldn't believe my eyes. So I'm taking CJ Daniels and I'm being happy with it too. Because you know what? And if I'm being honest, we can go ahead and take the pick, Kadeem. If I'm being honest with you, for anyone who says, well, who's his comp? Y'all not going to like this, but it's a Dolphins podcast, so y'all will understand it. His comp to me, and I want to be very, very clear. Like, just because you comp somebody doesn't mean, oh, he's going to be as good as that person, right? They're very similar. You know what I'm saying? They play very similar. And his comp to me is Eric Ezukama, but better. So he plays like Eric Ezukama, but I believe CJ Daniels' ceiling is way higher, and I think he's going to have a way better career than Eric Ezukama. But I wrote Eric Ezukama. I think he just didn't pan out, and it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, he got a neck injury as well.
I was going through some of our old shorts, and we had one of Eric Azukama in preseason with the game against the Falcons, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was there for it.
But do you remember who you spoke to or who you said hi to before the game?
Yes,
Who?
it was Alec Ingle and Raheem Mostert.
And from the Falcons?
Oh, Bijan Robinson.
I saw it. I was like, wow, I did not remember that at all. Um, so yeah, this is our final pick 227, and we haven't taken a quarterback yet. Now, Taylor Green, Carson Beck, both off the board. I want to do like a who like assuming both are on the board. Who would you take, Taylor Green or Carson Beck? I would then gonna have Cade Klubnik. He's off the board as well. So with our last pick, would you or do you want to go quarterback?
So I'm glad you asked that question that way because I don't take quarterback just to take quarterback. So my thing is, if it was who would you take if these boys was on the board, Taylor Green or Carson Beck? Taylor Green, I would take because it's a 7th-round pick and he can get drafted. You know what I'm saying? Carson Beck, I don't think he's going to pan out at all. So I'm not taking him just because we need a quarterback and we should take a quarterback. I'm good on Carson Beck. I'm not taking him. If Taylor Green is on the board, which he's not, right? He's not on the board right now, is he?
No, he's gone.
All right, cool. There's somebody. Well, for anyone listening, if you're a college fan, Diego Pavia is on the board. I don't think I would ever take Diego Pavia either. I think teams should though. I think someone, and I'm gonna be clear, I don't think he has more upside than Carson Beck, and I think he's a winner. I just think it's not sexy. So can you scroll down a little bit, can you?
Yeah, sorry, 2 seconds. Also, shout out to a comment we just had. Taz says CJ Daniels and Malik Willis play together at Liberty.
Yep.
Um, Cap for life, welcome to the stream. He says time is ticking. Um, he says if the Jets call, don't pick up the phone. And shout out to Slamming Sammy says I say rebuild, trade back, get another first next year. I would assume that would be with an earlier pick at the start of the draft.
Hey Sammy, I said that like 2 episodes ago. I said we should trade the entire 1st-round pick out the 1st round, get an additional next year. You'll have 2 1st-round picks. I also said we should have took that Buffalo trade where Waddle would have got us 2027 first and a 2026 third, you would have had 3 ones for next year. It's a quarterback draft. You would have had room to maneuver. Can you go in the 220s, please, Kadeem? Um, and you would have move room to maneuver, but we didn't do none of that. And I doubt we're going to trade out. Let's stop right there. I doubt we're going to trade out the first round at all this year. I think we're going to trade back maybe, and then get an additional second, hopefully. But since I don't love the quarterbacks, Kadeem, yes, we want to take a quarterback every single draft because you might hit on something and then you might be able to trade somebody. But and then the most popular Mr. Irrelevant. Who is he, Kadeem?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, right? Last player taken in the draft ends up being a $50 million quarterback. So I don't think we have any Brock Purdy's in this on the board now. So what I'm gonna do is something unpopular because of what our receivers look like. And I'm gonna take LSU receiver Barian Brown. Here's the thing about Barian Brown. Barian Brown isn't a big body receiver. He's not an edge. He's not an outside receiver. He's not an X. He's not none of them boys. But the thing about Barian Brown is he's a kick returner. He's a kick return specialist. He is one of those players where it's like, oh, don't kick him the ball. So if you have something like this on your team, and I understand we just signed Tutu Atwell, and Tutu Atwell isn't a returner, he's just small. You know what I'm saying? So I don't love that. And I actually don't love we signed Tutu Atwell because I think Malik Washington is better than Tutu Atwell, and he's more dense than Tutu Atwell. So I think they're going to be battling for the exact same position. But I think because this front office didn't draft Malik Washington, they're just going to move on from him. And I don't like that mindset of, oh, he's not one of ours. You know what I'm saying? So I think Malik Washington should be the starting slot receiver. I don't know if this front office is in on that. But Barian Brown, also another smaller receiver like Tutu Atwell, like Malik Washington, is a game-changing kick returner. So I think you need that on every football team. Every football team doesn't have that. And with the rules, the way the kick return rules are, you could really change field position with a good kick returner. So I would go Barian Brown because you want to maximize everyone's ceiling. Like, yo, can we find a role in him and get him on the field? Not like your Cam Goods, where they're just special teams players where you never see them, but they're filling in positions. I don't need that. I need people who are gonna really contribute. Not saying special team doesn't contribute, because you got to be good on special teams too. But some of these boys you never see ever.
Cam Cap for Life said, "What round are we in? We are in the seventh round, our final pick." He asked, "Is CJ Daniel still available?" No, but we did pick him up. That's why he's not available no more. um, and he also said we need a specialist, bro. So yeah, we can take Baron Brown very quickly before we take. I'll take him now. Finish the mock. Um, Shout out to Slamming Sammy. He says, as things stand now, the Jets might be in the playoffs again before the Finns, and that should leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Very quickly, I think the Jets move on from Aaron Glenn this year very early, and even though the Dolphins are in a very bad place and have been, or not have been for years, but have been unable to win a playoff game. I think the Jets are in an even worse place. And until they can prove that they can draft, retain, and improve their own players, they don't bother me. But that can change very quickly. But the Jets have been in this position before where they have a bunch of draft picks. You know, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, all these guys. Sauce is gone. Garrett Wilson hasn't done much of being injured. So really and truly, can they get it? Can they get it right next time? I'm yet to be proven right.
CJ Daniels and Malik Willis did play with each other at Liberty.
Oh,
CJ Daniels, go ahead.
we have one more pick.
I thought you was off, Kadeem. I knew
I
somewhere
thought,
you was off, but since you had the controls, I'm like, yo, all right, but I knew we was off somewhere, bro. But anyway, you can go ahead and take who you want here. But I will say CJ Daniels and Malik Willis played with together at Liberty, and CJ Daniels then transferred to LSU, and after LSU, he transferred to the Hurricanes. If you get on at LSU at receiver, that says something. That's why receiver you to a lot of people. Uh, One could argue that that red team in Ohio might be Ohio wide receiver U too. But at the end of the day, he became he became a Hurricane, did well in Miami. I thought he should have got more touches in the national championship. We didn't get him, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
I think I stupidly right. Let's. I saw a bunch of A's, and actually I can very easily go back and get of what our draft picks were. Draft picks, our draft grades were. But for
While
those
you do
watching,
that, while you do that, I'll be right back.
cool. But for those who joined us late or are listening and haven't been able to keep, um, I don't know. I'll go through the comments. So Slamin says Jets have draft capital and cap space, though the concern is they get a good head coach to use those three first in 2027. Yes, while it is concerning, again, it's they still need to get someone in, and right now the Jets haven't shown me anything in the last good few years that they are able to make the right decisions. I think is it Woody Johnson, um, the owner. I think he is preoccupied with other stuff, and I think he's continuing to make bad moves with GM hires and head coach hires and all that stuff. So yes, it is concerning the draft capital they have and the cap space, but until they are able to draft and improve on the field for a somewhat prolonged period of time, I'm not too worried. Charlie is back. Um, I will very quickly, if I can. So it's not on the screen right now, but I'm able to have a look. So we picked Mansour Delaney at pick 11, quarterback from LSU. That was given an A plus grade. We took Emmanuel McNeil Warren at pick 43, safety from Toledo. That wasn't given an A grade. Jake Slaughter at pick 75,
Hold
a
on, let's
B.
stop. I don't think this is an A grade, but I still like both of these picks. You know, computers are funny. Oh, you went back to back, same position. We don't love it, but let's see what happens here.
Jake Slaughter was a B plus.
Hmm.
Logan Jones at pick 87 was a B,
Mm-hmm.
and Kamari Ramsey
I take both of those.
was also a B plus.
Cool.
Uh, am I able to have a look very quickly at who what other draft grades we were given? The joys of technology. Uh,
I
let's
mean,
have a look.
I guess this is overtime
It
since
is.
since we're on a different platform and we went kind of long.
Uh, I know that Jake Endry's got a C plus and CJ Daniels got a B, and I can't see anything after that. Uh, Barian Brown was our penultimate pick, and Diego Pavia, the quarterback from Vanderbilt. I just took a quarterback very, very quickly. Um, those were all of our picks.
That's not a bad pick though. I want to be clear. Diego Pavia isn't a bad pick because you can see him being serviceable as a backup quarterback in the NFL, especially since you can have three quarterbacks on the team now. Diego Pavia should be selected by somebody in the NFL. He should be. So it's not a bad pick. I just don't think he has to find that right coach, the right system, all of that stuff. It's one of those quarterbacks. It's not like a oh yeah, this guy just everybody wants him. You know what I'm saying? So he has to have the right system around him.
I agree. First full 7 round mock in the books. Not a bad one. Comment. Oh, hold on. I talk to myself. Let's move something. Let's move that. Let's bring that back. As I said, first full 7 round mock in the books. Let us know in the comments what you thought, what would you do differently, where you thought we went wrong, where you thought we, hit a home run at the park. Before we go, Charlie, anything else to add?
We solid.
We are solid. So until the next time, we shall see you soon. Peace. God, no, this is just man. Wrong
Hey,
button.
this guy,
Wrong
this guy.
button. It's because it said